Hello everyone, welcome to today's story. In a world where money, power, and social status often overshadow happiness, Alex chose a different path. He ignored his mother, Mrs. Min's objections, and decided to hold a simple, heartfelt wedding with Lytuna, right on the small farm where their love first began. This was not a luxurious wedding filled with guests, but a ceremony of 3 hearts overflowing with love: Alex, Lytuna, and little Henry. Warm candlelight illuminated the small table. The sound of Henry's innocent laughter filled the air, and the couple's smiles spoke louder than any vow. Alex believed that true love could not be torn apart. And today, he wanted to prove to the world that happiness does not come from approval or wealth, but from sincerity and devotion to the people you love. If you believe that real love can overcome every storm, don't forget to subscribe and help us reach 10,000 followers, so you won't miss the next chapters of this emotional journey. The morning sun painted golden rays across the small farm, the place where countless memories between Alex and Lytuna were born. It was quiet. Only the sound of birds and Henry's laughter echoed softly. Alex stood in the courtyard, holding a bouquet of white roses he had carefully chosen. His hands trembled slightly, not from doubt, but from the overwhelming emotions of the day. Inside, Lytuna was preparing a simple white dress. She had no veil, no luxurious jewels, only a modest gown Alex had gifted her the night before. As she adjusted the sleeves, her reflection in the small mirror revealed tears of both joy and uncertainty. Could a love built on sacrifice truly stand against so many storms? Henry toddled across the room, clutching a toy car Alex had bought him. He tugged at his mother's dress, his bright eyes full of innocence, as if reminding her, "This love is worth everything." Lytuna bent down, kissed his forehead, and whispered, "Today, our family will finally be complete." Meanwhile, Alex decorated the farmhouse with his own hands. String lights swayed gently in the wind, and a wooden table was set with simple dishes: roast chicken, bread, and fruit from the garden. He wanted everything to feel warm, not perfect. Each flower placed, each candle lit, was his silent vow to Lytuna and Henry. "I choose you, always." But as the preparations neared completion, Alex's phone buzzed. A message appeared. "Stop this before it's too late. Think of your family's honor." It was from his mother, Mrs. Min. His heart tightened. He knew she would never forgive his decision so easily. Yet when he looked inside, where Lytuna held Henry, smiling shyly as she adjusted her dress, his doubts melted. He whispered to himself, "No matter what happens, I will protect them." As the sun began to dip behind the hills, guests were not arriving, nor were grand cars pulling up. Instead, the small courtyard glowed with quiet beauty, ready for a wedding of hearts. What Alex didn't know was that footsteps were approaching the farm. Mrs. Min had decided to see for herself. Would she destroy the fragile happiness Alex had built, or would love finally win? The sun sank lower, painting the sky in shades of amber and rose. On the small farm, the glow of string lights shimmered against the old wooden beams. There was no orchestra, no hundreds of guests, only the tender laughter of a child and the quiet heartbeat of true love. For Alex, this was enough. Lytuna stepped out of the small farmhouse, wearing the modest white dress Alex had given her. The dress was simple, but under the golden light she looked radiant, more beautiful than any bride in a cathedral. Henry waddled beside her, his tiny hands clutching Alex's finger, giggling at the soft lights dancing above his head. Alex's heart swelled. He knelt down before Lytuna, holding out the bouquet of roses. "Lytuna," he whispered, his voice trembling, "I promise to love you and Henry with everything I have. Today, before the heavens, I make that vow again." Lytuna covered her mouth, eyes glistening with tears. She had waited so long for this moment, a love strong enough to defy the world. She placed her hand gently on his cheek, whispering back, "Alex, I trust you, and as long as you choose us, I will never let go." For a moment, it seemed like nothing could break their peace. Henry clapped his hands, as if blessing the moment. Alex reached into his pocket, pulling out 2 simple silver rings. He slipped one onto Lytuna's finger, while she placed the other on his, her hands trembling. It wasn't wealth or power that made this day sacred. It was love, raw and unshakable. Just as Alex leaned forward to kiss her, a sharp sound broke the silence. The slam of a car door. All 3 turned their heads. The warm glow of the farm suddenly felt fragile, like a candle flickering in the wind. Standing at the gate was Mrs. Min. Dressed elegantly in a silk gown, her expression was carved from stone. She walked forward with slow, deliberate steps, each one echoing louder than the last. "Alex," she said coldly, her voice sharp enough to slice the air. "Do you really intend to shame your family like this? A wedding with no witnesses, no honor, no respect? Just you, her, and that child?" Lytuna froze, her body shielding Henry instinctively. The child whimpered, sensing the storm that had arrived. Alex rose to his feet, his chest tightening. He knew this confrontation was inevitable, but not now, not here, not in the middle of the vow that defined his life. "Mother," Alex said firmly, though his voice quivered beneath the weight of his fear. "This is not shame. This is love. And for once, I will not let family expectations crush my heart." Mrs. Min's eyes narrowed, her hands tightening into fists. "You're blinded, Alex. That woman will ruin you, and when she does, you'll come crawling back. But by then, it will be too late." The farm fell silent again. Alex looked at Lytuna, her trembling hands clutching Henry, and then back at his mother. This was the battle he had dreaded all his life. Duty versus love. Tradition versus truth. His decision now would define everything. The silence was unbearable. The farm that had felt so warm moments ago now trembled under the weight of Mrs. Min's voice. The string lights swayed in the night breeze, casting long shadows across the wooden tables. Alex's jaw tightened as he stepped forward, placing himself between his mother and Lytuna, who still held Henry close to her chest. The baby whimpered softly, his small hands clinging to Lytuna's dress. "Mother," Alex said, his voice steadier this time. "All my life, I've listened. I studied what you wanted me to study. I built the company you wanted me to build. I wore the masks you handed me. But today, I am not your shadow. Today, I am a man choosing love." Mrs. Min's eyes flashed, her voice rising. "Love? Do you call this love? She is beneath you, Alex. A single mother with nothing to offer but shame. Do you think the world will respect you when you chain yourself to her? Do you think your father's legacy was built so you could throw it away for a farm girl and her child?" Lytuna flinched, her face pale. She had heard such words before, but coming from Alex's mother, each syllable cut deeper. For a moment she wanted to take Henry and run, to save Alex from choosing. But Alex turned and met her eyes, and in his gaze was something unshakable. "Mother," he said, his voice breaking but his stance firm. "Lytuna is not shame. She is my strength. When the world crushed me, she was the one who kept me standing. And Henry is my son in every way that matters. If the world cannot respect me for that, then let the world crumble." Mrs. Min's hand trembled at her side, rage and heartbreak fighting inside her. "You foolish boy, do you not see how this ends? One day she will leave you, or worse, she will drag you down with her. And when you come back broken, don't expect me to open my arms." Lytuna, tears in her eyes, finally stepped forward. Her voice was soft but strong. "Madam Min, I know I am not the woman you wanted for your son. I cannot offer him wealth or power or a spotless past. But I can give him loyalty and love and a home where he is free to be himself. I don't want to take him from you. I only want us to build a family together, where Henry knows the warmth of a father's hand and the comfort of a mother's love." Is that truly so shameful? Her words hung in the air, raw and trembling. Even Mrs. Min, hardened by years of pride, faltered for a moment. But pride returned quickly, her lips tightening. "Pretty words, but words cannot erase the truth. You will never be enough for my son." Alex's fist clenched. He had been silent long enough. He stepped closer to his mother, his voice rising with every word. "Enough. Mother, I respect you, but I will not let you dictate my life any longer. You taught me to fight for what I believe in. Well, I believe in Lytuna, I believe in Henry, and I believe that love is worth more than all the money, all the titles, all the empty respect of this world. If choosing them means losing you, then so be it. But I will not abandon them." Mrs. Min's eyes widened, the finality of his words striking her like a blow. She took a step back, her breath shaky. For the first time, she saw not a boy to be controlled, but a man who had chosen his path. Lytuna reached for Alex's hand, squeezing it tightly, her tears streaming freely. Henry looked up at them, giggling innocently, as if unaware of the storm raging around him. The silence that followed was deafening. The battle lines had been drawn. Alex had spoken his truth. Now, only time would tell if his mother's heart could ever soften, or if this confrontation had shattered their family forever. The night air grew heavy. The farm, once filled with warmth, now stood still, as if holding its breath. Alex's words still echoed. "If choosing them means losing you, then so be it." Mrs. Min's lips quivered. For years, she had fought to shape her son's destiny, believing she knew what was best. But now, staring at Alex, standing tall, hand in hand with Lytuna, Henry in their arms, she realized something terrifying. He no longer needed her approval to live his life. Her eyes softened for a fleeting moment as she whispered, "Alex, is this truly the path you want?" Alex nodded, his gaze unwavering. "It is the only path that makes me whole, Mother." Lytuna's heart pounded as she bowed slightly, her voice trembling but resolute. "I may never be the daughter-in-law you dreamed of, Madam Min, but I will spend my life proving that your son did not make a mistake. Please, if not for us, then for Henry. He deserves all the love in the world, from all of us." Henry's innocent giggle broke the silence. The tiny boy stretched out his arms toward Mrs. Min, as if instinctively asking her to hold him. For a brief second, the grandmother's pride wavered. She hesitated, then reached out, her fingers trembling as they brushed Henry's small hand. Tears welled in her eyes, though she quickly turned away, masking her weakness. "I cannot give you my blessing tonight," she admitted, her voice breaking. "But perhaps one day I will understand." With that, she turned and walked slowly towards the car, her shadow fading into the night. The sound of the engine soon dissolved into the distance, leaving only silence and the faint glow of candles. Tuna pressed her face into Alex's shoulder, her tears soaking through his shirt. "Do you regret it?" she whispered. "Never," Alex replied, holding her tighter. "Tonight we chose love, and no storm, no opposition will ever take that from us." As Henry babbled happily between them, the little family embraced under the string lights. Fragile but unbreakable. Their wedding wasn't grand, but it was theirs. A small family with a big love, strong enough to face whatever tomorrow might bring.
Trong khung cảnh ấm áp ở nông trại nhỏ, Alex và Tử Na đã tổ chức một đám cưới giản dị nhưng tràn đầy tình thương. Bỏ qua sự phản đối gay gắt của mẹ, Alex kiên quyết nắm tay Tử Na và phía Henry khẳng định niềm tin lớn không gì chia cắt. Ánh nến lung linh, tiếng cười ngây thơ và của Henry thề Alex đã biến thành cảnh khác bình dị, thành thiêng liêng. Tuy bà Minh xuất hiện giận dữ tìm cách ngăn cản, nhưng Alex vẫn đứng bảo vệ tình yêu gia đình nhỏ. Dù mẹ anh chưa thể chấp nhận tình yêu chân thành ấy đã tạo ra một gia đình gắn kết, hứa hẹn vượt qua mọi thử thách phía trước.